Welcome back. If you only just joined us, you're watching the Daily Roundup here on NBC One. Now, from the studio lights of the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation to the corridors of State House, Jonas Mbambo's journey has been anything but ordinary. Recently appointed as the new Press Secretary and Spokesperson to the Presidency, Mbambo is trading in his anchor's chair for one of the country's most high-profile communication roles. As he prepares to take office on August 1st, we now sit down with him to talk about this unexpected turn in his career, what it means to be the president's voice now, and how he plans to bring a journalist's touch to the nation's top messaging job. Jonas Mbambo, good evening and welcome.
Good evening to you, Dina. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you so much for being here.
Much obliged. I must say it's quite awkward. I usually ask the questions, but I think that is now, it's now changed now, as far as the near future is concerned. But thank you so much for having me. I
had to pounce on this opportunity to get you in studio and talk to you before, you go on this major new phase of your life and career, and it's going to be so busy. And I thought, what a great opportunity to talk to Mr. Mbambo and give the nation a look into the man behind this new title that he's going to take up soon. Because I know a lot of people have questions. I don't know if you've been looking on social media since the announcement on the NBC social media pages and seen all the comments and so on that people have a lot of questions, but I think the majority of them have been so happy and surprised and in favor of this this announcement.
Yeah, absolutely. The support has been overwhelming, both from people that I know personally and those, of course, that know me through social media. But just to come back to why I honored this invitation is because NBC, Jonas Mbambo's story cannot be told without NBC. NBC, Jonas Mbambo were intertwined. Came here in 2014, started off at radio. I used to host People's Parliament in the 9th hour as well. And after that came on to TV, and of course, NBC has given me that opportunity to see the world, to travel this country, and to have conversations with people that I otherwise would have never had conversations with. And for that, I'm forever indebted for the chapter that NBC has wrote in this book that's Jonas Mbambo. We don't know how far this book would go, but so far, I really have to say, thank you to NBC. Everybody has been involved in my journey, starting from I call them the floor technicians. I don't like using the word cleaners, the riggers, the people that we never get to see when the credits roll. They have really had a huge impact on my story and on my life. And thank you once again. We'll
circle back to that part of your career, but just going back a couple of years, I want the audience to understand who you are. So give us a brief background of where you grew up, where you went to school, and where your roots are.
I come from the Kavango East region. Back then it was just known as Kavango because it wasn't divided yet. Grew up in a village called Mashare, but we moved to Windhoek in 1992. So because of Windhoek, in actual fact. I'm the second of 3 children. I have a sister, Kreta, and then my younger brother, Aser. So I'm the second born, and I always felt like I'm the guy who never got enough attention.
The middle child?
Yeah.
Do you have typical middle child syndrome?
I don't know what middle children are known for. But growing up, I always felt like, my sister was my dad's favorite, and my younger brother was my mom's favorite. And I was just there.
Where do you fit?
It's like, I will figure it out. I was the I'll figure it out boy. And upon moving to Windhoek, I went to Moses van der Bijl from grade 1 up until grade 3. And then after that, Tobias Sanyeko Primary School. And then I moved on to Hoër Technische School. That's in academia. And a lot of people always ask me, like, your Afrikaans is baba. It was like, yes. Yeah. And after completing my grade 12, I joined my parents who were in Russia at that time. My dad was stationed there as the Namibian ambassador to Russia. So I used that opportunity to go out there to further my education. I did a law degree, which is something that I actually didn't want to do. I was more into actually public relations, but at that time, public relations wasn't a thing. And my dad looked at me like, okay, fine, public relations, but he was saying something along the line of align what you want to study with what the country wants to achieve. I didn't understand at that time, but now as you grow up, you start now to make sense of what was said back then, because when you're younger, the rebellious spirit kind of like tells you like, these people, man.
They don't understand.
I want to follow my dreams. Yeah, but eventually here I am. I came back in 2012 and joined the unemployment line.
For about 2 years?
Yes, and I took up a teaching job actually in ROUNDUP as well. I was a history and geography teacher, temporary teacher for grade 8 and 9. They used to make fun of me. My learners, every time they meet me, it's like, the guy with the American English. Yeah, but that was also one of my very interesting chapters in life. It really taught me a newfound respect for the teaching profession.
Yes.
Sometimes you look at it from the outside and you think teachers aren't serious.
Yeah.
But when the kids pass, the kids are smart. When the kids fail, the teachers are bad.
Yeah.
So it gives you an inside understanding of the challenges that you have to deal with as as a teacher. You're sitting with 4 classes with 50 plus learners, while the policy says it's only supposed to be 35 to 1. So those are some of the challenges that people in the teaching fraternity face. And I really left that profession with a newfound respect to say, no, guys, you guys are doing pretty well with the limited resources that are available.
Yeah, available to them. Yeah. I want to go back to what you said about how you ended up in Russia, because when that was also came out that you studied, for your law degree over there, a lot of people were like, oh, why Russia of all the universities? And you just mentioned that your father was the Namibian ambassador to Russia at the time. So do you think, that had an influence, or sometimes these things happen subconsciously into you becoming, serving in government now as well? Yeah,
true. I think the political bug has always been there. I've been active in social clubs in school and both at university. I was the president of the Namibian Students Association at the university, Russian People's University in Moscow, which was previously called Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Lumumba was, of course, the first Prime Minister of the then Democratic Republic of Congo before he became Zaire and again DRC. Interesting individual as well. And it was a university that was designed in the 1960s to accommodate students that came from third world countries who were fighting for their freedom. So you'd find that many Africans, went to go study there. People from Latin America, Central Asia as well. So it was a melting pot of a global community. You found people from countries I never even knew. Laos, I never knew Laos existed until I sat down in a class with a young man called Ratasit. And Laos apparently is next to Vietnam. So you had an opportunity to learn even outside of class about people's cultures, where they come from, their languages, what informs the way they do things as well. So it was a really eye-opening experience. And if anybody is watching this has an opportunity to study abroad, please do take it. Go out there, see the world, learn a new language, but also get to learn people's cultures and way of life. Because when you come back, that's when you start realizing how small Namibia is, and how big the rest of the world is.
You started your journey at NBC in 2014, as you mentioned, and if I remember correctly, that was at radio.
Yes.
And then you transitioned to television.
Yes, absolutely. How I ended up at radio was also an interesting story, and I owe it to the previous DG, Albertus Augumop, the current Namibian ambassador to France. By fate, we bumped into each other in ROUNDUP, and we had a conversation, and he just asked me one question. He said, young man, what are you doing here? You're dying a slow death. That's how it was. Those were his words. I said, but given the opportunity, I'm sure I can make a difference with what I'm really passionate about, which is media. And sure enough, he made that happen. And, when somebody gives you an opportunity, when they vouch on you, they don't even know you well. It's somebody that I just bumped into, but he vouched for me. He sized me up in a few hours and he said, no, this kid's got something special. And you don't make a mess out of it. You work. You work A off.
How would you summarize, it's a decade and an extras, it's 11 years. How would you summarize your time in media, Jonas?
It's been great. So of course, it has had its ups and downs, but all in all, I think it has been more positive than negative. I don't think anybody who has worked anywhere can say that there's no such a thing as a perfect place to work for. But objectively speaking, I've learned a lot here from the way things are done, the NBC, and it's been an amazing one. And especially, like I said, you get an opportunity to sit down with, movers and shakers, of this world. And I'm forever grateful for that.
Has it sunk in yet that you're going to be Namibia's new press secretary?
Slowly, it's getting there slowly, but I'm just really humbled. As a matter of fact, I was telling someone that, if I were to say that I saw this coming, I'll be lying. I'll be lying through my teeth. I never, in my wildest dreams, would have thought I would end up, at this level. I always wanted to serve my country. But I just never knew it would come in such a big way. And for that, I'm forever thankful, to my Creator, for God to make it happen. I think I was telling someone the other day that, God really showed up and showed off in a big way. It's like, this young man, what does he want? And it's like, they say in Afrikaans, fat and money me frani. So it's all up to me now. And of course, the team that I'm going to be surrounded with to make the best out of it, to ensure that whatever the message, whatever the President's message that is being conveyed from the House on the Hill, it's not misunderstood, but it's, but it's understood by each and every person in the corner of this country.
Well, what's for sure, as I told you earlier on in our conversation, is that the Namibian people are backing you. They're behind you, and we wish you all the best. We've already given you our well wishes. But I did ask the public today if there's any questions that they would like to ask you. I think this is the only opportunity that they would get to do so, and we did get some responses on social media. I think the first and most important of the questions that came through is, good evening, Mr. Jonas Mbambo. Are you married? Asking for a friend.
I'm engaged with state affairs now.
I love that. You're engaged with state affairs. The person also asked, do you face any challenges in life?
Yeah, of course. I think no one is exempt from what Shakespeare called the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. No one lives a life without any obstacles, and I think for us to experience one extreme emotion of joy, you can't really, experience full joy if you've never experienced pain. Vice versa, in the same way that I don't know where I read it, but they said, until you've tasted the vinegar, it's the only time you'll relish the taste of honey. But if you only eat honey, you'll take it for granted.
Of course.
So.
Another question that came through was if you could please tell us about your background, place of birth, upbringing, primary and secondary. I think we've covered that.
Yeah, we've covered that.
And then also, have you ever thought of working for the president, or was it you, or did this, was it ever a dream? And I think you just explained that you didn't see this coming at all.
No, I didn't.
What are you most looking forward to in this tenure ahead of you, Jonas?
Learning.
Learning
and just, the fact that you are working alongside, the first female president.
Yes.
And somebody who has seen, the best and the worst in this country, even before independence. I think that in itself is school. It's a new university now for me in terms of, how much I will learn during that, during my tenure there. Might not be 10 years, might be 5, who knows? But I'm looking forward to taking it one day at a time. But, absorbing as much as I can, essentially assuming the role of an anthropologist studying alien culture. So I'm going to be listening more than I'm speaking, because like every other workplace, there is a culture there that I have to learn, that I have to adapt to so as to understand, what role I'll be playing to also, better improve on what is being done.
Well, Jonas, I appreciate your time again.
Thank you so much, Nina.
And we wish you all the best. And I know I speak for all of us at the online office when we say we're going to miss you so much.
Thank you so much.
But we know you're just a phone call away.
I'm just a phone call away.
Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, Press Secretary, he will take office on August 1st. And before he got really busy, we thought it would be befitting to get him in here and to just familiarize him, or familiarize the public rather, with him. We'll be right back after this brief break. Stay with us.